is up, guys? JaretCampisi. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be killing two birds with one stone. We're going to be testing out the new Duca Bike blacked out rear sets that we put on our giveaway Ducati Panigale V2, and we're going to be covering a topic on here on YouTube. The topic is, why is motovlogging dead on YouTube? So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So if you didn't know, this is our next giveaway motorcycle. If you want to help support this project and be entered to win this bike, patreon.com/Campisi Customs. It's always the first link in the description below. So yeah, I figured it would be fun to get out, go for a ride. It's 50 degrees today here in Pennsylvania. We don't get days like this very often in the winter time, and I wanted to test out some of the parts that we recently put on the bike, just to make sure everything's working properly. It seems like it is, but I do think I want to make an adjustment to the rear sets. They need to be angled down, just the levers, just a little bit more. It's kind of a pain in the ass to reach all the way up there and get to it. But yeah, the main topic today, while I'm testing these levers out, I saw a video actually from Fastlane D, and I thought it was a great topic. He was talking about the truth behind being a content creator and, you know, how we make money, because a lot of people want to do this. Fun fact for you, YouTubers surpassed all other jobs as dream jobs from kids asked in school. YouTuber is now the #1 job. Now I say YouTuber, that could be any type of content creation, but YouTube as a platform does pay more than any other content creation platform. So what I want to do is I want to cover this topic because I thought Fastlane did a good job of talking about a few things, but he didn't really go into a lot of detail, and I think there's a lot more to be said about this, because I get this asked on my channel a lot of times. What do I do for a living? How do I make money? Why don't I make more riding videos? Why don't I have more personal bikes? So I'm going to first cover kind of from my perspective as a content creator, full-time for about 5 years now. My girlfriend does the same thing. And then I'll kind of cover some other things after that as well. So first of all, is motovlogging dead on YouTube? I would say motovlogging had its kind of like heyday when channels were just riding motorcycles about 10 years ago. That's when it kind of just started. It paid a lot more on YouTube back then, and people built really large audiences around that. We're talking about like the early motovloggers, so like the Chase on Two Wheels, the Do It With Dans, the Motonocities, people that were like really early on. And because it was so early on, they were able to build a pretty big following because it was new. Like riding a motorcycle and filming it and talking to people like had never really been done before. So for that reason, everyone, you know, a lot of people enjoyed it, and it was kind of like a new thing, and it blew up and people were making money from it. Now here's the thing you got to understand. There's a quote from Vanilla Sky. What is the answer to 99 out of 100 questions? The answer is money. So when it comes to doing anything, basically doing anything, right? A large portion of that is based around money. Do you have the money to do it? Will it make you money? Being an adult, I'm 40 years old, and having this as my business, I really don't, there's only two reasons why I want to do something. One, if it makes me money for my business, or two, if it's going to be an asset that goes up in value over time. If it's not one of those two things, I don't want to do it anymore. I've pissed away enough money throughout my life. I never had money, it didn't come from money, and I don't want to waste money. So that's, Christine and I both, that's basically how we live our lives. Now when it comes to making money with content, if you don't know, this is basically how it works. On YouTube, for example, you film a video, you post a video. If you've reached monetization status on YouTube, you can monetize that video. You can make money off that video based on the views that it gets. That's how it works. Now, how much money you get paid per view is based on something called CPM, and that's basically like how much you get paid per 1,000 views, right? So all content isn't equal, and this is where we come into the problem with motovlogging. Making content on motorcycles on YouTube is one of the lower CPMs, which means you get paid the least amount of money. For example, if you, let's say, getting 1 million views in a month on YouTube on motorcycle content, that could make you anywhere from $500 to a few $1,000s, depending on your watch time and other factors, right? Car content, for example, if you got 1 million views on car content, you could make 5 times that amount. So you could make anywhere from, I don't know, $2,500 to maybe even like $5,000, $7,000, $8,000. So that's the reason why you still see car channels still growing and people are still making that type of content. But even car content and just YouTube in general, like the advertising revenue from YouTube, it fluctuates. It goes up and down over time. So right now, currently, we're not in a good advertising time in YouTube. So people aren't making a lot of money from their YouTube content anymore. That's why you see a lot of car channels that do giveaways. They have their own merchandise. They start like side businesses. And motorcycling is the exact same thing. So the problem with motorcycling videos is the content itself, buying motorcycles, riding those motorcycles, filming that content, putting it on YouTube, it can't sustain itself. That's the problem with motovlogging. That's the reason why I only have I have 2 personal bikes, but I've been filming motorcycle content on YouTube for 6 years, and I've only bought 2 personal bikes. The reason for that is because buying a personal bike for whatever, $30,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. In my case, one was $30,000. In a year, maybe I could make 30 grand on just my YouTube content alone, but that's not sustainable as a business model. So buying a bunch of personal bikes for me personally and just making content with those bikes, that's not even to mention buying parts to put on those bikes, riding it, upkeep, all that stuff. It's not a sustainable business model, at least from what I've experienced, okay? So when you see channels coming up and they're doing motovlogging and they're new channels and they're buying bike after bike after bike and they're making all this content and they're getting views, I honestly don't know how they're doing that unless they have some sort of money coming from an outside source, because the content from YouTube alone with those bikes is not good. Even if they're getting 5 million views a month, I still don't think they're going to make enough money to sustain the amount of money they're spending on their channel. So to me, there's got to be some sort of outside sources. When you look at people like IMK, Fastlane, like they're newer channels, and when you're a newer channel, you don't really make as much money until you start to grow your channel over time and you start to get longer watch times. That's when you start to make more money, when you're a more mature channel on YouTube. So I don't really understand where that money is coming from for them. Now, yes, you have sponsorships. That helps you make money. You've got apparel you can do. I do my bike build series videos. That's why you see a lot of channels like Chase on 2 Wheels, 650E, myself, Yami Noob. Like a lot of those channels that were older channels have switched to doing bike giveaways, bike builds. That's another form of income for me. I have all kinds of different forms of income. I have a personal training business. Then obviously Christina, I help her with her business. So the reason why motovlogging, and people always ask me, why don't you film more riding videos, Jaret, and blah, 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 blah. There's really not, riding videos really don't get a lot of views anymore. Just a pure riding video. You have to be like running from the police, racing, riding extremely fast, and doing all this dumb shit. And YouTube's also cracking down on that stuff as well. So you already had a genre or a niche, right? Motorcycle videos that already didn't make that much money compared to other things on YouTube, and now they're also cracking down on the most popular part of that niche. So that's the reason why motovlogging in general on YouTube isn't as popular and you don't see it as much. The channels that have survived have had to change the type of content that they create. Look at Do It With Dan. He had almost 1 million followers, subscribers on YouTube based around motorcycle videos, and he doesn't even make motorcycle videos anymore, pretty much at all. Like, that should tell you something. That's crazy. Snooge, he's another one. He used to make motorcycle videos, one of the biggest motovloggers, doesn't even make motorcycle content anymore because he realized car content made a lot more money, and then he realized he could make a lot more money with finance, which is the highest CPM, so he started a whole new channel. So there's so much that goes into this kind of stuff, but the main reason why I don't make as many riding videos is because they don't really, on my channel for whatever reason, they don't really get a lot of views. The only types of videos on my channel that get views riding wise is if I buy a new bike, I'm doing a first ride, or it's some sort of new, like testing out an exhaust or modification on a bike or something like that, riding with my dad, things like that. But the moto vlogging content, like most of it has been done. It's a saturated market. Everyone's already seen all of the bikes been ridden, so it has to be like a new bike that came out. People want to know how is it compared to the old models, blah 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 blah, that kind of stuff. So, but you gotta keep in mind too, I think the most money I've ever made on YouTube in an entire year on my channel was maybe like 80 grand, something like that. So $80,000 is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but if you're having to buy personal bikes, like let's say it took me buying personal bikes to make that money, right? If I had to buy like 1 or 2 bikes or maybe even 3 bikes to create that content to make 80 grand, then you can easily be breaking even. And then where's your money? Where's your income? How are you paying your other bills and stuff, you know? So it's a really long, convoluted answer, but the real reason why motovlogging is dead, I'll call it dead because people still do it, but the reason why you don't see as many up-and-coming channels and you don't see older channels still making motorcycle content is because you really, it just can't sustain itself monetarily, like on its own. That's the honest answer. And it's something I guess no one has really talked about on YouTube, and we don't really talk about money on my channel or on Christina's channel because people are just weird about money. I have no problems talking about it. I would tell people how much money I make, where it comes from, all that. I don't care. But people are just weird about it, so we just tend to not really talk about it because, yeah, I don't know, people get weird about money. I've never really cared about money personally. I didn't get into what I do because of money, and I still don't make decisions based around money. If I did, I wouldn't be doing the bikes that I do at the caliber that I do them, the giveaway bikes, because it just doesn't make sense. I could do much cheaper bikes like other people do and put way less modifications on them and make a lot more money, but that's not why I got into what I do, and it never will be. So yeah, there you go. There's the answer to the question, why is motovlogging dead on YouTube? And I would say it pretty much is. I mean, you're gonna always have channels here and there that jump up and come and go and whatnot, but as far as just like a channel dedicated to purely to just riding motorcycles, I think it's going to get harder and harder, especially as YouTube cracks down more and more on like putting up content that's seen as unsafe, because that's the stuff that's really fun to watch. If I wasn't talking about a topic right now and I was just out riding at normal speeds on the road, nobody cares. Nobody's going to watch it. So that's kind of just, that's just the way that it goes. So yeah, I hope that you guys learned something from this video. If you have more questions about content creation, money, or topics you want me to cover on a motorcycle, I'd be down. I think it's really interesting. I've been doing this, like I said, for 6 years, and we've built a multi-million-dollar business, Christina and I, based around social media. And we have a lot of insight, and we did it all by ourselves with the help of, you know, you guys who watch our videos and follow us and support us. So it's been all grassroots. You know, we've never bought followers, we've never paid for advertising or anything like that. We've just grown it on our own. So it's allowed us a lot of insight on how this stuff works and how to make it and create it and whatnot. So yeah, I thought that it was a cool topic. I like to see like Fastlane and all those people do videos like that. I wish more content creators would be upfront about how they make their money and whatnot, but I understand it's people get weird about it, and you can sometimes alienate viewers and shit. But yeah, that's it. So like I said, if you have questions or insights, drop them in the comment section below. Try to get to them. Maybe I'll even pick, if you guys have topics you want to see me cover regarding social media, let me know. I'm happy to report the rear sets seem to be working very well. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to have Dado lower the shifter and the brake lever just down a little bit. I feel like I have to kind of pull my foot up a little bit too much to get to them, but overall they feel good. The bike feels good. Don't forget, guys, if you want to be entered to win custom dream motorcycles, that's what we do here on my channel. Patreon.com/Campisi Customs. It's always the first link in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a big old juicy thumbs up, subscribe for more, and we'll see you all in the next one.